Have you ever stopped to think about what connects, well, pretty much everything? From the food you eat to the air you breathe and even the very cells that make you you. There's one single element at the heart of it all. We're talking about carbon. It really is the ultimate Lego block of life.
But that begs a pretty big question, right? How on earth did this one element become the foundation for millions of different compounds? I mean, everything from simple fuels to the incredibly complex machinery of our DNA, it's all carbon. It's a real puzzle, especially when you find out just how little of it there actually is.
You see, you'd think it would be one of the most common elements, but carbon is actually incredibly rare. It makes up a tiny, tiny fraction of the Earth's crust, just 0.02%, and only about 0.03% of the atmosphere. So what's its secret? How does such a scarce element end up being so incredibly important?
Well, the answer isn't in its quantity, but in its quality. Its unique chemistry. Carbon has two fundamental properties. You could almost call them atomic superpowers that no other element can really match. And these two features, they explain everything.
Okay, let's break down its first power. At the atomic level, carbon is the ultimate social connector. It's just really, really good at forming stable relationships with other atoms. Now, the technical term is tetravalency. Tetra means 4, and that's the magic number here. A carbon atom has 4 electrons in its outer shell that are ready to party, which allows it to form exactly 4 bonds. You can think of it as having 4 hands ready to link up with its neighbors.
And here's the thing, carbon is a sharer. Instead of stealing or giving away its electrons, it prefers to share them. This sharing creates something called covalent bonds. So by sharing its 4 electrons with 4 electrons from other atoms, carbon gets a full, stable outer shell, and the result is these remarkably strong and stable molecules.
This is a perfect example. What you're looking at is a methane molecule. It's the main component of natural gas. You can see that central carbon atom right there in the middle, sharing its electrons and forming 4 incredibly strong bonds with 4 hydrogen atoms. It's this perfect, stable little package.
So carbon is fantastic at connecting with other elements. That's superpower number 1. But its second superpower? Oh, this is what truly sets it apart. It's not just a social connector, it's a master builder, especially when it comes to bonding with itself. This amazing property is called catenation. It's carbon's extraordinary ability to link up with other carbon atoms over and over and over again to form the backbone of gigantic, complex molecules. Let's just watch how this works. It can start with a simple chain of 2 carbon atoms, but this chain can grow almost indefinitely, forming these long backbones that make up everything from proteins to plastics. And from there, it can start creating branches off the main chain. It can even loop back on itself to form these incredibly stable rings. The architectural freedom is just phenomenal. And it gets even better. These carbon-to-carbon links aren't just single bonds. Nope. Carbon atoms can share even more electrons to form double or even triple bonds. Each type of bond creates different shapes and properties, which adds a whole other layer of complexity and versatility to what it can build. So we have 4 places to bond, and this amazing ability to link together. But that brings up another question, doesn't it? Why are these bonds, especially the carbon-carbon bonds, so unbelievably strong?
I mean, other elements can form chains too, but they're usually weak and they fall apart easily. So what makes carbon so different? Why are its constructions so durable?
It all comes down to size. Let's compare carbon to silicon, the element right below it on the periodic table. Now, silicon can also form 4 bonds, but here's the key difference. Carbon is a small atom. This means its nucleus has a really powerful grip on those shared electrons. It holds that bond together tightly. Silicon, on the other hand, is a bigger atom, so its nucleus has a weaker pull on its electrons. That makes its bonds weaker and more reactive. Carbon's small size is truly its secret weapon. Okay, so we've got the atomic blueprints, tetravalency and catenation, the 4 hands, and the ability to build chains. Now for the really cool part. Let's see what these simple rules actually build in the world around us.
This versatility, honestly, it builds almost everything that matters. It creates the fuels like methane that literally power our world. It forms essential solvents like ethanol, a key ingredient in medicines.
It builds massive structural molecules like cellulose, which is what gives plants their shape. And of course, most importantly, it forms the backbone of every single living thing we know of. You know, this quote from our source material just sums it all up perfectly. It's not just one superpower, but the combination of the two, the social connector and the master builder, that unleashes carbon's true potential, letting it create the millions of compounds that make up our world.
So the takeaway here is that a few really simple rules at the atomic level, 4 bonds, a love for linking together, and a strong grip, give rise to almost infinite complexity. It really leaves you wondering, with rules this simple, what else can this master builder create?